When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. Well, there's so much they hold, and just like them old stars, I see that you come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. No, I won't give up. I don't wanna be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. A difference, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gift we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I've got and what I'm not, and who I am. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. I'm still looking up. Well, I won't give up on us. God knows I'm tough. He knows we got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up.
Hello and welcome to the Mega Music Talk Show. And in today's episode, we are gonna delve into our once upon a time stories of how we became musicians. And we're gonna talk a bit about, our inspirations and why we chose our instruments and such and such. So, first question for everyone today is, why did you choose a music career? Starting with Kid, shoot.
All right. So, why did I choose music as a career? So first of all, I love music, right? We love music. So, I always wanted to play music, full time, every time. Is my hobbies, is a thing that I do to really stress, anger, everything. So for me, music really helps me to be a better person, and I don't like to work for people as well. So I like
Be your own boss.
Yeah, I want to be my own boss, I guess. Music is always my first choice, since a kid. So yeah, I already chose it and I never regret it.
So are you saying that you've chosen this career since you're a kid? Like you were thinking to be a full-time musician?
Yeah, as a kid, growing up as a kid, right? My parents loved music, so my dad, he's like a #1 Elvis Presley fan.
Oh.
So yeah, he's like really into it. And yeah, growing up, always listen to those folk music,
Right.
rock
Yeah,
and
yeah,
roll, and then Bee Gees and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So for me, it's as a kid, I already know I want to be a musician. So yeah, that's for
awesome.
me. So how about you, Kevin?
Well, for me, music, again, like you, we have to love music that much to choose to take it as a career. And it started with I've always liked music as a kid. I've always enjoyed music. I've always managed to get music. That's one of the things that a lot of students have struggled with. They struggle with kind of relating to music in a sense that it's not so much a part of them to learn it, but for some of us it just resonated. When we were young, we just it just felt right to us. And that's probably one of the biggest factors to say that music is a potential career for you. And
So when was the age that you know?
I was probably when I was about primary school, middle primary. Again, just like you, Kid, my parents were like Bee Gees, the Stylistics, stuff like that, all the disco era stuff, and that was just, it was really cool, growing up to that music. So, after a while, again, grew up, realized that I didn't really want to work, say, office hours or, going back and forth between similar job in a sense. I wanted something interesting. I wanted to go through different things every day, and it's been great. And of course, to every great thing there are downsides. But even with a full-time job, there are great things about it, and there are downsides. So I think it's how we see it as we go through this career. How about you guys?
From what I hear from your stories, it seems like parental guidance starts from very young, right? Right now, we think back to our childhood. It's like we remember all the songs and music that our parents love, and it kind of influences us as well. So that's a very good observation, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, Stacey.
Because my dad used to be a CD seller when I was young.
Wow.
Nice.
That
Most
is-
resources.
Yes. So I always get free access to all these concerts, and I can just grab any CDs that I want. Back then, when I was still a kid, but you know that the industry kind of died when people start downloading stuff and pirating, things like that. Yeah. So I guess that's like my biggest influence, and my mom is pretty supportive. So when I was young, I went to those courses. My mom would just do all these flashcards for me to help, to just sit beside me and then just go through the practice with me. And she's pretty much involved in my learning.
Is she a
When I was-
musician herself?
No, they are not. Yeah, my dad basically just sell the CDs, and my mom is just housewife. Yeah, so she's pretty much into helping me learning along the way. Yeah, but I actually, I guess right into the music career. Do you have any other jobs before that, or just full-time musician from the start?
That was a good question, actually.
Have you been into other industry or?
I did F&B before, right after
wow.
school, just to save up for drum parts. So,
So that's like a part-time or?
yeah, part-time. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
kind of like a cook in KLCC lah. There's
Wow.
Chili's,
KLCC.
restaurant,
Oh man, you guys are setting the bar so high.
yeah.
My story's gonna sound like crap.
Just for me to save up some money to buy some drum parts. lah. So,
Yeah.
The goal is clear.
yeah.
Kevin?
For me, I actually started teaching music very early on, right after graduating from secondary school. So not really much of an option of different stuff that I had on, but I did do events for a bit, which is kind of related to music if you think about it. So
As in performing or?
organizing, so event organizing. So that's cool because you get to meet, say, famous artists. You get to be up close and personal during the performances.
You know,
So
the backstage as well.
Exactly. Sometimes these little things can influence you in how you see music. Because growing up, you see music as well. These great singers and all that. They're on stage. They're playing a great show. Tens of thousands of people, big arenas. It looks all fun and nice. But when you go backstage and you look at how things are done, there's a lot of things that you learn, and that really affects how you conduct yourself as a musician. you don't take things for granted. You know, you really appreciate the crew and the people around you, because it's like 80%. Yeah, they make it happen. Without the crew,
Yep.
you know, you're no much better than a performer.
Yes.
So I think that's a pretty awesome thing. How about you?
For me, I didn't. It was during my educational stages. Like I went into a teachers training program by the Malaysian government. Like we call it IPG, Institute Pendidikan Guru. So I went into that program before I exited the program and then went on to a music degree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but the moment I started working, it was teaching music. So,
Oh, okay.
yourself?
Because mine is different. I didn't have like I didn't go for like a music degree, but I have a psychology degree.
Oh.
Yeah, so I actually been to much different industries. Like I did events before too. I was in marketing too. So I actually tried different things. Teaching wasn't my first choice, honestly speaking. It's just that I think a few years back that I started like I'm just like get so bored in corporate offices. I'm like I want to be my own boss too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I want to manage my own business and stuff like that. So I was like, teaching might be a good choice, and I find the satisfaction like being able to share to people what I'm good at. Like I finally found something that it really makes me happy.
It's like your calling.
Yeah, because it's like in a corporate sitting in office doing the 9 to 5, like a daily routine. It's like kind of not my thing.
Yeah.
I guess you guys will understand
Right.
too.
I mean, if you tried it before, you
Yeah.
know if it works for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But that's pretty awesome. I mean, teaching is definitely something that you have to be passionate about to
Yes.
do, because you can't just teach if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah. You just wear out
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah.
you wear out, and it's not fair to the student as well. You have to still have that, responsibility as a teacher,
Yeah.
and make sure your student learns well. So yeah.
All right, let's move on to our second question, which is why we each chose our individual instrument. Who wants to go first?
Just in case you guys don't know yet, Kidd is a
Drummer.
Drum
drummer.
teacher.
Drum
Drummer.
Drum teacher.
Yeah.
I teach guitar, and
Yep.
I play guitar and guitar-related instruments.
And Stacey plays the piano. And I'm a vocalist. Yep.
So, I started playing guitar at first
Oh.
when I was 8 years old. My dad sent me to this music school, and then I tried a few classes before I quit.
Why?
Don't quit your guitar classes, kids. Don't. You're gonna end up like an awesome drummer like Kidd.
I quit guitar before I played the drum. So why? Because I'm a left-handed, and
This
yeah.
side.
Pick up the cup, Kidd. Are you really? You're left-handed?
Yeah, I'm a lefty. So I had a really tough times because I can't really play. I can't really hold the chords. With
Right.
right-handed
Yeah.
guitar. So it's kind of like a stressful thing for me. It's like every time I go to the class, right, I'll be like,
You just don't want to go.
Yeah.
I
It's very
can't.
unnatural
Yeah,
for
it's
you to
very
do.
unnatural.
Yeah.
So for me, it's why I chose the drum because when I went to the classes, right, and then there's like a display, there's like a few drums, they display it, on the floor.
Yeah,
it's
the
nice,
Caught your
shiny.
attention.
Yeah.
And then with the wood grain, you can see it from inside. It's very sexy for me. So.
Oh.
Yeah, so I always wanted to like just hit and just pick the drumstick and just hit
How
it.
old were you when you started?
10. Yeah, so it's quite young for me. And then when you play drums as well, when you are left-handed, most left-handed drummers, they play like a open kind of open technique like this. So their hi-hat is actually on the left side lah. So it's like this. So their left hand is hitting the hi-hat. So for me, it's very natural to just play with the right hand setup. So it's like just I can play, yeah. And then even my instructor before that, he told me that it's very natural for you, the sounds, the tones, and everything. So I always love the drums. Drums are fun.
Yeah.
Drums.
Definitely fun.
Sell the drums.
You know, and then it's very you know, express everything. You know, when you play drums, you know.
It's a very physical instrument.
Yeah, it's very physical as well. You know, you don't have to exercise. You just play drums.
All
Body
four limbs.
exercise.
Yeah,
Full
so
body.
yeah, that's for me, I guess. So drums are always the first choice for me.
That's cool. For me, guitar has. I mean, I've always liked the guitar. You know, I've always looked at it as being a nice instrument to look at. But it only started when I was, say, about 13 or 14. I had a friend who was playing the guitar, just beginning to learn. So my parents, they told me, hey, that's a pretty cool instrument. Why don't you pick it up? And I was, I was open to the idea, because why not, right? Nothing to lose. I'm just learning an instrument. I might like it, I might not. But when I first started until today, really love the instrument. It's something that it's right for you. Just like Kidd said, it just felt so natural. So of course it did start tough, because every instrument starts with that learning curve, but it's I've never looked back since. I think up to today it's been one of the most fun instruments to play.
And did you start on an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar?
Yeah, so that's the thing about learning. What do you start on? Do you start on a classical guitar, an acoustic guitar, or an electric guitar? For me, I started with an acoustic, strictly because my friend was playing the acoustic, and it sounded nice. So my parents had a friend who had an instrument shop that time, so I managed to choose an instrument. So that was pretty nice, and eventually moved on to electric guitar. Because everybody wants that upgrade from an acoustic to an electric instrument, except for the drums. Though. It's a little bit different that way. You want the acoustic one if you have the choice.
Is there a big genre shift? Like, let's say when you move from acoustic into like electric guitar repertoire?
Well, that's a great thing to ask, because back when I was growing up and learning instruments, learning guitar in specifics, the music that was on, say, the radio was very pop rock. So there was a lot of acoustic guitar, there was a lot of electric guitar. So it was, you wouldn't feel left out, say, where in this modern world there's a lot of digital stuff. And a lot of electric guitar, acoustic guitar songs are, they have, they linger here and there, they're scarce, but they are around. So back when I was learning, tons of acoustic songs, tons of electric songs, so it's quite easy for me to just, learn a lot of, make the shift, learn a lot of acoustic stuff and move on to electric.
Nice. Moving on to myself, I guess, yes, we consider voice as an instrument, and we're all born with it, and we all have different voices. For me, it started when I was a kid. I guess it was the Disney movies. Like, born in the 90s, oops, revealing my age. Born in the 90s, it was the age of like Disney animated musicals. Like, you have Snow White to Sleeping Beauty to like The Little Mermaid, and then so on and so forth, Pocahontas. And so it was just me loving so much to sing along to those songs, and eventually realized that, okay, I kind of have some talent in singing, and then it went from there. Yeah.
Singing is probably one of the things that a lot of kids would probably start with, because when you listen to music, either you dance to it or you sing along to it. So, in my case and in your case, we were like, instruments were the thing for us. That's really cool, because singing
And I
along.
guess singing is very essential in instrument playing, because you can know the pitches, and
It is.
Yeah, it helps on your instrument learning as well.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of I was introduced to piano since I started when I was 4 years old. It's just so long
Wow.
ago. Yeah, so
What was I doing at 4 years old?
I started pretty early. So my mom got a second-hand piano. So actually my siblings all learn piano, but I'm the only one who continued learning it. Yeah, so like I said, I went to some concerts, and my parents showed me quite a lot of videos. So I kind of inspired at piano playing. And I find it, because I'm quite good at reading the notes fast, so I find it pretty challenging. Yeah, so when I see some pianists doing all these movements, that I want to be them too.
Right.
Yeah, I dream to be one day to be a pianist like them too. So
Speaking about that, so I guess it was your inspiration from a lot of other artists or
yeah,
musicians?
like I watch people's how they perform. I like performance. I like how people perform. I like how they express through music. Like for piano, it's not just for me. It's not just about hitting the right notes and everything. So the way the techniques, everything. I only slowly realizing that when I'm on a later age, probably after high school because mine is quite traditional. I finished like my whole, the ABRSM syllabus, right? Like all the Asian parents grade 1 to grade 8. I finished everything when I was barely like, 12 or 13, which is super young.
Wow.
And honestly, by that time, I don't think I actually know what music is. Because like a 12 years old kid, you can't really have so much emotion, like understanding the stories and everything. So I think the understanding part come later in like probably college time or after college.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's very interesting.
yeah.
So music is not just about playing the right notes.
Yeah.
And then acing your exam. It's much more to that. There are
I
much
think
more
I
layers.
think that's make what each musician different from each other and unique, right? Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
The way you interpret a song is different from the
Yeah.
others.
I mean,
Any inspiring things for you guys?
Well, for me, as a kid growing up, right, I get those inspiration from my dad mostly because he's a guitar player. So, but back at those days, you can't be a musician. People will feel like it's kind of like you need to be a
Accountant, engineer,
yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
Yes.
those kind of stuff. So, so he always wanted to be a musician. So now, seeing me, being very interested in music, he just
happy.
he really helped me to be he introduced me to music, drums, guitar, stuff like that. So he is the one who really inspired me to be a musician.
That's really cool. They're continuing his dream.
Yeah.
Or you can also
True.
play music with your dad also,
Yeah.
like you're playing drums and the dad like
Yep.
guitar.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, we all have inspirations from, say, family members or somebody that we've seen on the TV or something.
Yeah.
And it's great that we have the opportunity to actually pursue something like music. To be able to, try to be like the greats maybe, or just, being able to express what we love to do.
Yeah.
And that's really nice, and we're really thankful for that, I guess.
What about you? You have any guitar heroes?
Funny you should mention Guitar Hero. If you haven't played it, it's a good game. But Guitar Heroes, that term is such a thing for electric guitars especially.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's talking about, I want to be the guitar hero and I want to be on stage. And, I really liked watching people like that last time. Back when, in the early days when YouTube just started, videos, there were like, 100 videos on YouTube. And there were these clips of virtuosic guitar players, And they were like singers in the front of the stage. So these bands will be strictly instrumental. You have the electric guitarist right in front doing some crazy stuff. And to me, as much as I would love to be one of them, it was a really inspiring moment because you get to see the things that you can do with an instrument that you would not normally think possible. I mean, we think of the guitarist, I'm going to strum and accompany a singer. I'm going to play some chords and play a guitar solo, back to chords. But these guys were doing crazy things. And it was really inspiring to actually watch what you could do. Especially, for guitar players, they love speed. Speed is such a big thing. You want to get faster and faster and faster and faster.
I think that applies to
Every
most of
instrument.
I don't know about vocals. Do you want to sing faster and faster and faster?
But I know I'm not like what Guinness record holders playing Flight of the Bumblebee.
that's
Yeah.
always the song, right? That's always the
Yeah, that's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark. There's probably a drum version of that as well.
I don't know, man.
maybe you should do that one day.
But speed was one of the inspiring things, but it was not, say, per se my goal. I like the idea that you could play that fast, but it's always inspiring to see what you can do with your instrument. And that kind of pushed me to really practice really hard in the early days, and just like hours and hours of practice.
Yeah, inspiration is just so important for each of us, to help us push us, to the next level. So, lastly, I guess I want to ask you guys about how your parents gave you support. Did they or did they not? From what I heard from Kidd, it's like super awesome dad, just
Support all the way.
very supportive.
Yeah.
So
So 100% support from them. Like
from
100%.
young
That
Yes,
was
from
great.
young.
all the way, it's just awesome.
Yeah, the only thing that he told me that if you want to do things, just do it like
Yeah, I think
100%.
that's
That's it.
awesome.
If you want to do it halfway, don't ever think about it.
Wow, that's a good advice.
That is some really good advice.
Yeah.
That is some really good advice. Don't do things half-heartedly or just
Yep.
like
Yep.
yeah, half-assed.
From a hometown that I came from, there's this school, and their mission is accomplish or do not begin.
Wow.
So
that's-
yeah.
exactly that. I think it's great.
But I think that applies to a lot of students who say start an instrument and halfway they feel I'm just kind of lazy or something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a choice to be lazy, but we could have been lazy as well.
Yes.
Well,
But-
I have been.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
our
same.
lazy times and all that, but there's still something about this accomplishment that you can get, and
Yes.
with parental support, that's amazing. For my case, my parents were extremely supportive. They were
Lucky you.
well, it's
Sounds like
funny.
we have a story
It's,
here.
it's funny, I mean, because you would assume that back in that time, people wouldn't see music as a career.
Yes.
It was more of a hobby,
Yes.
And-
Especially in this country.
right? Especially in this country. But to be honest, like before we even started considering this as a career, we did it as a hobby. It is still a hobby, but you can turn your hobbies into careers. You just have to work really hard.
Yes.
And I mean, look, lots of us can vouch for that. We can sit here and tell you tons and tons of stories about how our experiences have, just kind of like pushed us all the way to make this successful for us. Even our great crew and camera people, they've had, their passion and all this kind of stuff. These are things that we definitely want to, emphasize to parents. Like, if your kid has this skill, we should, let them try at least, because who knows? I mean, it's the 21st century, So my parents were extremely supportive.
Stacey, yours?
Okay, in terms of learning music, they are pretty supportive. So, like when I graduated from high school, like choosing the degrees that you have to go to, of course, like the Asian parents, they want like either go something more professional, like a doctor, accountant, So because I don't like numbers, and I don't think so. So at the end, I chose like psychology because it's like human behavior. It's like I think it's like suits me more. I don't know. Probably that I don't have much choice at that time because I was thinking I want music. So
Yeah.
I don't really have so much thoughts about it. So I went to psychology. Afterwards, I tried different industry, and they see that I'm actually not that interested in working in these corporates. And actually, they are the ones who suggested me, why not you just go try teaching? So they are the one who suggested me to go try teaching.
It's okay.
That's
Yeah.
Things turn around.
Yeah, so afterwards, they are pretty supportive. Like, just do whatever you like. Yeah, pretty supportive after that.
That's great.
Yeah, so
From what I find, I just think that parental support is just so important. If your kid is learning music, they really need your support. I know some parents are pushing their kids to learn music and maybe the kid doesn't want to learn. But I am one who, I used to take piano lessons when I was like 4. And then I stopped when I was 6 because my mom was just so sick of asking me to practice because I was just too lazy. And I remember when I was 13 and I finally met my moment and I know that I love music, I just totally regret stopping. So from all our experiences combined, I guess I can say that passion, inspiration and parental support is really important in terms of music learning and actually becoming a musician. And I hope that our stories will be able to inspire you if you are learning music and if you love music. And I guess that's all we have for today. We'll see you at the next episode. Bye.
bye.
Bye.